Parasite has a lot of these moments I have to call feels moments. So a lot of people says, very feelsy. I call it the feels moment. And this episode was just all of that feels. You feel very emotional when you're watching it. And I believe halfway through the episode, you got to see Tamaruko pass away. And she was protecting her son as the detective and basically the cops were shooting at her, and she was saying that she was wondering, why were we born? And this the spiritual question that we humans wonder: why are we born? Why are we here? For what reason are we here for? And she realized the conclusion that the parasites are the other half of humans. The parasites are the humans' children, you could say, or they are the children of humans. I'm not sure if I said the word right, but she eventually reached the psychological type conclusion. She was satisfied with her life, and if she had to die, then she was happy to die. If she had to meet her end, then she was willing to meet her end with, I guess, a smile on her face. And obviously, as she was shooting, obviously she was walking to Shinichi, and she was obviously disguised her face as Izumi's mother, because otherwise Izumi would ran away if she approached him, because Migi thought, I keep getting the K and G mixed up now that we're going to introduce to Migi, who actually, if it was Guto instead of Migi, Shinichi would have died as well. Tamaruko said before she died, not last breath, but when they were starting the conversation as well. So when she died, obviously, she get entrusted her baby with freaking Shinichi, and she said she didn't do anything to the baby at all. And I guess the baby is the reason why she's, basically the most human parasite other than the Shinichi there is. I believe she is, at some point she's more human than Shinichi is, but I believe Shinichi is now the most human parasite there is. He has emotions, and obviously Miki has emotions, but obviously he's controlled by Guto, whatever, and Hirakawa, the mayor, whatever. He's like, basically 5 parasites in one. Miki's obviously energetic because there's more parasites in him. Shinichi's obviously strong because obviously he retains his human mortality, his human morals he has. But Tamaruko, who's basically a pure parasite, you could see in the beginning of the series she wasn't really human, but her character developed to the point where obviously she met with the band. This is what I wish a Kamingaka's characters were. I wish they developed and then they died. I would not have mind that, but you know what I mean, that's just another series for another discussion. But her character did develop to the point, but I feel like it's sort of like she died just all of a sudden. I guess this is the thing you get when you sort of do these anime series. Sometimes some developments aren't really rushed, you don't really care about the character, but the way she died was very emotional, showing the past as well, because also Shinichi's past was also getting involved in there. And also when Murano said was, oh, are you back, Izumi? Will you come back, whatever? And then he truly came back, the one that the Shinichi that got stabbed in the heart. And it was before episode 6 Shinichi finally came back after, like, I believe around 18 episodes, because the entire series, maybe like 7 or 8 episodes it took him to come back. Even more than that, took him to finally come back. The real Shinichi, the one with human, the more than human. He is finally, he's a human and he's powerful as all hell now. You could definitely see him crying, and when he cried, I was like, oh my, he's finally here. Because obviously when you're human, you show your emotions, your sadness and your anger. Sometimes when you're so angry, you cry as well through the tears. And obviously parasites don't cry. And now that he was finally becoming human, whatever, it was thanks to Tamaruko becoming his mother, whatever. And he said, and when his parents came back in his dream, like, I had a very sad dream and everything else. And it was like, I realized this. Maybe if you follow my channel for maybe a few months, you realize I'm a very emotional person. Maybe one of these days I'll do a live reaction or something. You might just hear a little tear, not a little tear, but me crying. I always get tears in the corner of my eyes every time I do. I don't flat out cry, but I do have these moments of just where I show absolutely emotion. So obviously, let's get rid of my emotional issues for now. But overall, obviously, after Tamaruko died, obviously the police came in, interviewed, friggin' what's it called? Her name, I forgot her name. For now, I forgot her name, but eventually I'll remember her name. Mamoru? Oh my, I forgot her name, whatever. Freaking Shinichi's girlfriend, whatever. I can't really remember her name because I had her name on the top of my head, but I forgot her name, whatever. So obviously everyone was interviewing, the police were interviewing them eventually, and also towards the end of the episode, you guys see this character, whatever. I don't know what his name was, but apparently he's a parasite who can, who got captured, and he can detect the ability, if a person is a parasite or not. Obviously, they managed to capture one of the parasites. And I believe he was one of the parasites with the mayor. I believe he was, and he was still alive. Or maybe he was a new parasite they captured. So, now obviously, this is how when Shinichi's the whole show plot is going to move. We have less than a month until the show is over. Obviously, Shinichi had to go to this hospital where obviously the police would take him to a special place where basically they detected their parasites, obviously. And must I say, it was very adult rated. Obviously, this episode was adult rated most because the guy was basically jerking his dick off and he met the female. I knew that because if you think about it for a couple of seconds, it's kind of disturbing. But you know, since he was in prison, whatever, you know what? I let the man do him. As I say, I don't mind people's businesses. Let them do them. That's always when I say whenever I want to get involved in someone's business, let them do them. So obviously he has the ability to detect if people are parasites or not. So obviously this might move the plot forward if, you know, the police find out about Izumi's actual parasite, because he's always conveniently, when the parasite's there, he's always near them. So the police detect that, you know, freaking the detective things that, you know, Shinichi's obviously the guy who basically was a partner of Tamaruko, but we all know he wasn't. But he thinks that because he's a detective, he kind of needs the evidence, and you know, he needs to come up with these theories, and you know, need to disprove them or prove them or not. So obviously they have this guy, whatever, and eventually when Shinichi came to the room, whatever, all these other people left, or whatever, you know, and then he's trying to see if they're parasite or not. And the humans, you know, they think these people are actually parasites, but not really not. He would say, you know, this guy's a fraud or whatever. The other guy was lying to him, saying like, you know, this psychological wave, whatever, ignore my wave signals and whatever. I thought it was a parasite at first, but he has more emotion, because the parasite's voice, you can tell they don't really have, you know, an emotion. It's all monotone and all just straight. But obviously Shinichi's voice is different, you know. At moments when he's really mad, he does get his monotone voice at moments, but he fluctuates, and humans' voices do fluctuate from emotional to crying to anger and everything else. So obviously, enough about the human analogy and all that stuff. So obviously the guy was doing it all, he was talking, and eventually said, you know, tell that guy to look into my right eye or whatever, and obviously gave him this stare like he knew he was a parasite or whatever. His Shinichi's identity gonna get revealed. Is everyone, including his father, Murano? Oh, that's her name. Murano gonna know that, you know, he's a parasite or whatever. And I'm so glad Shinichi came back, by the way. So this episode's overall, I know I keep saying it, but the plot is really starting to move forward. I hope it doesn't get rushed, but I have a feeling that the manga, I heard from a friend on Twitter, he said the manga's ending was sort of rushed in a way. So I am having kind of doubts about the end, how the ending is going to go, but I have no idea how the ending is going to go because I've not read the manga. So hopefully they don't rush it. Tamaruko's character did develop to a point, to her high point, and then she died. Did you guys care about Tamaruko's character at all? Because I kind of did towards the end, but the beginning not really. What's going to happen to her baby as well? Or is her baby eventually going to have we're going to get a time skip towards the end where the baby grows up? What's going to happen? I have no idea. What's the police going to do with the baby? Are they going to test it out? Are they going to test it, whatever? And I'm so glad Tamaruko didn't do anything to the baby. What's going to happen to Shinichi, whatever? Is he going to look in the eye? Or is the guy going to be like, oh, whatever, Migi's going to wake up? Also want to know about Guto, you know, how the fact that I want to know about the Guto, Miki, and, you know, Hirakawa, the mayor. I want to know what their whole purpose of being, you know, on top is, whatever. And Tamaruko also, she said, you know, she only ate like 35 victims, and, you know, she was the most human of all the other parasites. You know, she really killed a lot. She really killed for many food resources, but she said that parasites can survive without human foods, without eating humans. So basically, unlike ghouls, where they need humans to survive, obviously freaking parasites don't need humans to survive. They don't need to consume humans. So if you guys enjoyed the video, you probably enjoyed the video, be sure to like the video a lot if you made it to the end. Comment below if you have any theories, questions, or anything else to say in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, just so use in the description below. And let's, you know, make a look at the anime I'm watching and stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Farewell.